Hello everyone, welcome to my classroom. I'm Neetu Ann Thomas, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, SNIT Adur. I've been teaching you principles of management.
Today we're going to learn about roles of manager. What are the different types of roles that a manager undergoes in an organization? There are three main type of roles: interpersonal, informational, and decisional roles. So I'll be explaining each one in detail. Firstly, interpersonal roles. Interpersonal roles, in the sense, these are mainly concerned with the interpersonal and social relationship of managers with their subordinates and others. It facilitates managers in developing positive interpersonal relationship, which usually grows out of their formal authority. So these are the roles like figurehead, leader, and liaison are the form of roles that interpersonal uh, relationship is concerned with. So we'll be dealing in brief all these three roles. Figurehead role, in the sense, and this indicates the role of a manager who is a representative of the organization in all matters of formality. Managers play this role at every level in some form when activities of ceremonial nature are required. For instance, greeting visitors, representing the company at community events, welcoming new employees to the organization, giving performance awards to employees, so and so on. So these are things that a figurehead would do as a role, right? Secondly, it's leader. Managers also take a leadership role to get things done within the organization. Managers behave as leaders to influence and motivate others within the organization and to plan, organize, control, and develop. So, the central task of leaders is to give their organization a sense of direction and purpose. The leadership role is shaped by the manager's official position in the firm and also by his or her individual identity. Right. Thirdly, it is a liaison role. So, this role establishes contact with managers with persons outside the organization, department, or work unit. An important purpose of such liaisons is to build a network of relationships. Managers usually interact with the people outside their area of authority to complete the work assigned to their department or work unit. A production manager's interaction with stores manager or marketing managers, a stores manager's call to a vendor to ascertain the exact date of arrival of a raw material, etc. Examples of liaison role. Likewise, the top manager may use a liaison role to gather information about the industry and changes in the government policies from external sources. So that is a role for liaison, right? Second main role is the informational role. So, informational role is nothing but collecting information from various sources, both inside and outside the organization, uh, via via all these people like monitors, disseminators, and spokesperson. So, what does a monitor do, or a disseminator do, or a spokesperson do will be dealt in detail. A monitor is someone, or it is a managerial role which informs gathering information or events or occurrences in the environment that affect the organization in one or the other way. Managers rely both informal and informal channels to collect information required for effective monitoring. Managers look for information on events and threats connected to the internal and external environment, gathering information on the possible response of the competitors to the firm's new product, changes in the buying behavior of the consumers, or financial crisis in the business of a trade debtor, and all examples of a monitor's task. So the information gathered should be properly stored and carefully maintained. Right. Secondly, it is a disseminator. Disseminator role involves sharing of special and significant information by the manager with their subordinates. So, managers may have gathered some useful information or useful facts and figures from outsiders and in return they transfer the same to a few internal people in the organization and the department. However, managers often filter these information and disclose it to a selective manner to some privileged people only. So that is a disseminator. A spokesperson role is something where managers deliver specific information to individuals and groups located outside their department or organization. Sales managers communicate with business partners regarding new sales strategies, or government officials and others to convey information about the company development of interest to those stakeholders. Right. So these are examples of spokesperson. Spokesperson is someone who transfers information from the organization to the outside via reports, memos, and speeches. Thirdly, it is decisional rules. Decisional rules. In this role, managers make decisions based on the inputs received through interpersonal and informational rules. So, mainly there are four decisional rules. Firstly, it is entrepreneur. In their role as entrepreneurs, managers make sure that their organization's innovative and changes are necessary, and developing or adopting new ideas and technologies and improving their own product and processes are being done in an organization. Right. Disturbance handler, that's the second one. Disturbance handler is a manager who determines their response to their work related disturbances occurring both within and outside their department. In such situations, they quickly evaluate all possible solutions to the problems and choose the best one to solve it. Okay, so that is a disturbance handler. Third one is resource allocator. So as a resource allocator, the manager decides the allocation of both physical and human resources necessary for achieving the organizational goals. For example, allocating funds for research and development purposes or developing additional plant capacity are examples of a resource allocator. And lastly, it is a negotiator. So, who is a negotiator? This role requires managers to conduct negotiations with individuals and groups to protect and promote the interest of their department or work units. As part of this role, managers may hold wage negotiations with union leaders, supervisors may address the grievance of subordinators, etc. So, all these roles which are discussed above are not interrelated but only equally important in determining the efficiency of managers. So, these three rules are very important and very important for the organization to work out in a proper and harmonious way. So, roles of a manager, mainly there are three roles: interpersonal, informational, and decisional roles. And you need to be thorough with all the roles and all the interior roles, that is inside interpersonal what all roles are being discussed, and inside informational what all roles are being discussed, and inside a decisional what all rules are being discussed. Okay, hope it's clear. That's all for the day. Thank you.